Yo, what's happening, people? Back again for another stream. Don't forget to smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Gab Goes In. So, we're going to discuss who I believe will be the front runners for the upcoming World Player of the Year. So, as you can see in the thumbnail, for me, um, I believe those two, Vinicius Junior and Kylian Mbappe, will be the front two. Um, Obviously, there'll be players like Erling Haaland that will be up there as well. There's been talk of Jude Bellingham being discussed as well, which I'll get into in a bit. For me, I think Mbappe might be the favourite, if I'm honest, when it comes around. Obviously, a lot of it will depend on how the teams finish in the Champions League. And as we know now, with the World Player of the Year, a lot of it is based on who's scoring the most goals, which is something I'm going to discuss in a minute. But for me, I believe, I think Vinicius Junior currently, right now, is the best player in the world. I believe he's the most decisive player in the world. He's playing for arguably the biggest club in the world, and consistently he's showing up in the big games. I think too often he gets overlooked, especially in this era of football. So I think the main two people will focus on is Mbappe and Haaland, mainly due to the numbers. But for me, I think Vinicius Junior is, in terms of just having everything to his game, I think he's the best player in the world currently and should be the front runner for the World Player of the Year. Do I think there's anyone else that can kind of gate crash that kind of group there in terms of Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, Erling Haaland, and obviously there's been talk about Bellingham. I look around and I mean, obviously it's going to be an attacking player, because the Ballon d'Or is based on that. I think the last person to win the Ballon d'Or that wasn't an attacking player was Fabio Cannavaro. Obviously, he was a centre back that won it, but invariably, it's always an attacking player that wins the World Player of the Year. So, just looking at that, I think it's hard to say really. Because if I look at if I look at La Liga, obviously you got Vinny Junior around amongst the squad. You wouldn't say. I think Rodrigo might be on the list, but obviously he won't win it. You'll have players like Camavinga on the list, along with obviously Luka Modric, who obviously is past his time now. Bellingham will be on that list. Then you go to Barcelona. Can I say anyone from Barcelona? Lewandowski will probably be on the list. João Felix possibly on the list as well. Pedri, I think, has been injured, so I don't think he'll be on that list. And that's it really for the attacking players. Atletico Madrid, you probably see Griezmann. Yeah, Griezmann will definitely be on there. Another top player. I think Griezmann might be the only one. Maybe Morata, but I don't think he'll be on there. And then you go to Serie A, and you look at Inter Milan. So you're probably talking about Lautaro Martinez. I can't think of any other attacking player on there. Nicola Barella might be on the list, but I think Lautaro will be on there. Then we go to AC Milan. Most probably Rafael Leao will probably be on the list. Can't really see many two more. Yeah, and I think that Juventus. I can't really see too many people from Juventus on there. And then you go to Bundesliga. Harry Kane will be on the list. Then you go to Jamal Musiala, most probably will be on the list as well. He'll be in the running for the golden boy, the young player. I think Lamine Yamal from Barcelona will probably be on there as well, the young player. Leroy Sané, I don't see him being on that list. And I don't see anyone else from the league in general being on that list from the Bundesliga. But then you go to the Premiership, and then you'll have, I believe, Bernardo Silva will probably be on that list. Kevin De Bruyne will be on the list. Rodri will be on the list. Possibly Foden will be on that list. Obviously, Haaland, who we've spoken about already, will be on that list. I think a few of the others might miss out, i.e. Jack Grealish, Julian Alvarez. I don't think they'll be on that list. Then we go to Liverpool. Mo Salah will be on that list. I think Van Dijk might be on that list as a defender, funny enough. And I can't really see too many other players, really. Then we go to Man United. No one. Who else is there? Arsenal. Arsenal probably have Saka on there, I would say. And Odegaard might be on that list. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm struggling to find names because, and this is what I want to get into now. Really, it really shows you the prestige of the World Player of the Year, how much it's fallen, and whereas before you had a list of players that were just, you can just reel them off your tongue, but now I'm actually struggling to find who's going to make that list, and it shows you the decline of football, really. Too many players that are getting talked up is based on athleticism or numbers, and that's why I feel with Vinicius Junior, even though Vinicius Junior, his main attribute, obviously, well, I wouldn't say his main attribute, but one of his attributes is his athleticism. I believe that in terms of his natural quality, his dribbling, his touch, his shooting, his consistency at the moment now as well. He is getting goals and his assists as well. I do believe that, he has everything in an all-round game compared to the others that I've mentioned, and as I say, he's doing it for one of the biggest clubs in the world, on the biggest stage as well. And they're in the running to win both the league and the Champions League. I think the only team that will possibly stop them, in my opinion, is probably Man City. So yeah, I just think that Vinicius Junior for sure is a front runner. Someone that I've been hearing a lot about, and to be honest with you, my personal opinion, if this player was to win World Player of the Year, I think, which I don't think he will, but it will show me that football's in the gutter, which I believe it kind of is now anyway, and that's Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham, he's a good player. There's no denying that, yeah. But the hype he's getting, for me, it's not right. He's playing in a system, and if you know about systems, you'll know that Real Madrid haven't got a main central striker. So they're playing with Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo as split strikers, which means that the midfield is consisting of, if you've got Tchouaméni, Camavinga, or Toni Kroos in there. Valverde more plays on the right if Rodrigo's not playing, or obviously he can play in the midfield as well. But if one of Kroos, Modric, Tchouaméni, or Camavinga are in that midfield, the third person will be Bellingham, and that's because Bellingham's playing higher up than all them players, and he's playing as a false nine in a sense. So the goals he's getting is purely because of the system that Ancelotti is playing. So it's quite similar to what he played with AC Milan, where he had Kaká and he had Shevchenko and Inzaghi, or Shevchenko and Crespo up top. And whereas that system's a bit different because you got Shevchenko and Crespo or Inzaghi who are actually strikers, and Kaká was like the number 10. Whereas in this formation that he's playing with Real Madrid, you've got Vinny and Rodrigo who are two wide men, but they're playing as split strikers, which allows in the system where Kaká was playing for AC Milan, that's now Jude Bellingham, but Jude Bellingham is playing as the fake forward in a sense, where you have Vinny and Rodrigo as split strikers. So the chances he's getting is basically falling to him because he's the highest midfielder. But when they actually get a number 9, so if Mbappe does go here in the summer and Mbappe plays through the middle, Bellingham won't be repeating the same numbers that he is getting because the positions that he's taking up will be occupied by a striker. That's just common sense. So, and I think a lot of the hype he's getting is because of numbers, not necessarily because of his performances. Because the games that I've watched Jude Bellingham in, he's just putting in average performances, but the media and a lot of the pundits would have you think that he's playing out of this world, but their perception is coming from numbers, and that's the sad state of affairs with football at the moment. And as I said to you, like the fact that he'll be in amongst the front runners for the World Player of the Year, based on numbers, for me is scandalous, really. So, yeah, I'm just hoping that I hope Vinicius Junior can continue his form. As I say, winning the World Player of the Year is based on obviously what you're winning for your club, obviously national as well. But I think it's more become with the numbers, and that's obviously started because of the Messi and Ronaldo effect. Obviously Messi and Ronaldo are no longer competing for the World Player of the Year no more. So that duopoly between them two has now stopped. So I think they're trying to build the whole Mbappe and Haaland rivalry. But for me, Vinicius Junior is better than both of them, just on pure ability, and I feel he's got more to his game. So yeah, I'm hopeful that he can kind of continue on. But if another player pops up, or if Mbappe or Haaland or whoever is obviously winning the major honors and being a vital part of it, then obviously they would have deserved it. But I think the very fact that the pool of players because for me it's really between three players, and that's because if you are including goals, what their clubs are going to win, and the ability, I think it's quite a small pool there. For me, João Felix is he should be up there, but João Felix don't get the numbers, so he won't be in that conversation. But on pure ability, he's arguably better than all three of them. And then I look at the Premiership. I don't really see anyone really that is that level of a Vinicius Junior. France, obviously, Mbappe is still there. But then again, as I say, Mbappe, Vinicius Junior are for me are the only two, and it's sad really because a lot of players now are all at the same level, but you probably have Vinny and Mbappe who are just that little bit extra, because they're providing numbers, and as I say, yeah, it's quite sad because the actual quality of players now is not there. When you had the likes of like Ronaldinho, Zidane, R9, obviously Neymar. If Neymar was playing in Europe, I mean, he'd win World Player of the Year every year, because when it comes to ability, and even if you do want to chuck in the numbers and that, no one touches Neymar. No one even close, really. Let's be honest. But the fact that he's playing in Saudi, obviously that'll work against him. So yeah, I just think that the prestige of the World Player of the Year is gone down massively, and hopefully football can be back in a place where system players and robots have kind of died out, and the actual quality of a player is recognised. Someone that I'm a massive fan of is Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden is a top player. I think also as well, someone that obviously is injured at the moment, but someone like a Michael Elise, I think he's a top player as well. But at the moment, I think Foden is he's someone that is just a pure technician, you know, and he's only starting getting his flowers, I believe now. But I think that he can be up there for sure. He's playing for Man City, who's arguably the best team in the world at the moment, and he's shining. He's a starter, so you know. But he won't win World Player this year. Yeah, I can't see it unless. Well, I mean, it's a funny one really, because I think if Man City was to win the league and the Champions League, he could have a good shout, to be honest. But I'm looking at it because Vinny and Mbappe have been doing it more like over the last couple of seasons, and Foden's breakthrough season is probably now. It depends what it's going to be based on, you know. But yeah, I think those two will be the front runners. Along with probably Haaland will probably be in as well because of numbers, not because of his overall. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. But as I said, hopefully that football now, starting from next season, will be in a place where it's more technicians and that will come through, and the system player kind of gets eradicated from the game, because I think it's just getting a bit boring now watching players that can play multiple positions, you know, not really doing anything special, and then yeah, just watching robots playing the game and not really much going on, you know. I mean, I would die to see a player like a Neymar back in Europe doing what he's doing, because these are the kind of players that get you off your seat. And if I look now, I think, yeah, as I said, I think Vinicius Junior is probably the closest player. He's probably the closest player to a Neymar that will get you off your seat. You know, as I mentioned before, you got João Felix, but obviously he's been in and out the team, and his numbers, obviously, for people are not really there. But I believe that, yeah, Vinny's the only one really that's going to get people excited and off their seat. And that's why I'm more or less choosing him to win the World Player of the Year, you know. But yeah, let me know if you guys agree. Let me know if you think there's any other players that should be in the running. Don't forget to smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be back tomorrow with the match reaction for the Man United versus Everton game, which kicks off at 12:30. It's a must-win game for United, and also a must-win game for Everton if they want to beat off relegation. You know, my predictions. Do you know what? I'm probably going to surprise a lot of people, but I think I can see Everton. I can see Everton nicking a win. Yeah, because the game against West Ham, they should have won that. And I know they missed a few chances, but they dominated that game. So I consider nicking that really. You know, it depends. Well, we all know what team he's going to play. He's going to play more or less the same team that he played against Man City, with probably one or two different players coming in, but it won't be the player that I believe should be playing, and that's Amad Diallo. So, but yeah, I can see Everton nicking it 1-0, 2-1, or at worst for them get a draw, but I can't see Everton losing the game, and that's a problem. And as I say, it's Ten Hag under pressure, so it's gonna be interesting. As I say, that's at 12:30 tomorrow, so I'll be tuning into that. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good weekend.